Hello everyone, hope you're well. It's been an odd week for me since our last video because on one hand, as the title of the video will suggest, I've had a bit of a weird one. I'm having a bit of a weird time in general, but I've also had quite a nice weekend. So it's kind of a mishmash start, but I'll get into the meat of it in a minute. I had my wedding anniversary yesterday, which was lovely. Normal sort of day because we were just off. It's a bank holiday, we didn't do anything, but I got Claire a card and a candle and some flowers, and she was like, I didn't get you anything yet. I'm just sorting out whatever. And then she was like, I didn't get you a card because I know you don't really care about cards. So I got you a cheesecake. I was just like, okay, brilliant. That's actually the best thing ever. Like, that's perfect. I don't want cards. I want cheesecakes. From now on, that should be the rule. Family, my parents, get me a birthday cheesecake. Don't get me a card. Sister, card, no. Cheesecake, yes. Everybody, don't bring me cards. Bring me cheesecake. This seems like the best idea ever. I feel like we should get to the point where people should be writing "Happy Birthday, Sheepdog" on a cheesecake, not a sheep cake. A sheep cake would be even better. But yes, cheesecake, birthdays, anniversaries, Christmas. I feel like we've cracked it now. Maybe at Christmas, give me a Christmas pudding instead of a Christmas card. But the point is, she just seems to have stumbled into a routine now that I am insisting she maintains. She has to keep this. But other than that, yeah, normal day. It was all good. Enjoyed ourselves and just nice. 13 years of being married. It was a bit of a. I think tying this into my topic, it was interesting writing my cards because I said to her, every anniversary, I feel like I sit there and I go, 13 years, like that is ages, but it's also gone really quick. And when I look at where we were 13 years ago, like I left my job in insurance, moved to my mum and dad's with my pregnant fiance, and was like, we're saving up for a bit. We're going to stay at yours. We're going to live out in my old bedroom at their house, and we're going to turn their dining room into a living room. And then I'm just going to live here for 6 months, and then I'm going to sod off to my new place once I figured it out. And that was where we started with nowhere to live, no money. I was just schlepping back and forth to Romford for a job, and it was soul destroying. And I was absolutely depressed beyond belief. And the rest is history. I remember chatting to my sister one night at about, I don't know, 1 a.m. on Skype or whatever it was at the time, and she just said to me, "Why don't you go to uni?" And I went to uni and met Kev and moved to Deep In and all that stuff, and all that stuff kind of unrolled from it. But 13 years on, I'm like, God, I can't even imagine how life would look 13 years from now. It seems insane. Like 13 years from now, I'll be nearing 50. I'll be basically, 4 months away from turning 50. Ben will be turning 18, and Emily will already be an adult. Oliver will already be an adult, and Claire will already be in her 50s. And I'm just like, that seems forever away. But also, I know how quickly 13 years has just gone. It doesn't seem that long at all. Now, to tie it into the theme, I'm not having a very good time at the moment. Anxiety is absolutely annihilating me left, right, and centre, and I can't stop. And I don't know if I mentioned this on video ever. I haven't really even spoke about it to Claire that much, other than the fact I sort of off the cuff brought it up to her. But I had a call with. So I'm starting. She knows I'm starting a like a. I think I have mentioned I'm starting a cognitive behavioural therapy thing tomorrow. But when they did their "Do you need help" kind of questionnaire, I can't remember what they score out of. I think it was out of 12, which seems like an odd number to pick, but they picked 12. And out of their "How severely anxious are you?" out of 12, I got like an 11. And I was like, okay, I wasn't expecting that. I thought you were going to say, "Oh yeah, you're about a 6. You're borderline. We should talk to you." But they were like, "No, you are pretty much full on ball of anxiety mess." And I was like, okay, that's lovely to hear, thank you very much. That's what you want to hear when you're. I'm probably maybe update it to 13 now, because didn't need to hear that. And it wasn't very it wasn't the best. So that has been bothering me because I already knew it. I was already feeling quite tense. And I think I have said before that I joined the group of autistic creative people and realized a lot of doing the comics and talking to people and that kind of thing has helped me with some of it, with the whole autism side of things that it stems from. That's been helpful, knowing that actually a lot of this is just surroundings, people, things, sensory overload, whatever it is. That's been useful to understand, and it is helping because I'm knowing now that I can just go, right, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to move away from this and it's going to feel better. An example of that would be at the weekend. So Saturday, we went to mother-in-law's. It was quite funny, actually. Just as an aside, we arrived there and she said, it's your anniversary tomorrow. I had no idea what to get you because you're both weird. We were like, what? And what she meant by you're both weird is she couldn't get us something meaty, or it had to be for vegetarians. And I haven't been drinking this year. So she couldn't get us alcohol, so she ended up getting us Percy Pig vegetarian sweets, and she got Percy Pig fizzy stuff, and some biscuits. But she was like, "Yeah, sorry, it's a bit random. You're weird," and we was like, "Oh, thanks." But going back to the story, on our way out of there, as we left, I started up my car. I sat in my car, went to drive, and it didn't move because I hadn't pressed the button. But my mind was expecting it to move, and I felt a little bit like, whoa, like the dizziness I get when I play games. I just felt that. I was like, oh God. So I took a moment, drive home, and then I told Ollie about Sonic Adventure on the Xbox. So I bought him Sonic Adventure, and he was trying to play that. And it turns out this game's really glitchy on the Xbox. And he was yelling at me about it. He was yelling at the game. He was yelling at me. He was getting upset. I was trying to fix it. Every time there was a loop you had to do, and you fell through it if you looped wrong, basically. But you fell through it because it was clipping. So it was supposed to be hard, but because it's a game, they hadn't programmed it properly, and you were falling through it. And Ollie was just getting wound up by it because he died like 12 times on the first level or whatever. And he was yelling at me, and my heart was going in my chest. And next door I had the music on loud, and Ben was running around. He fell over and pulled the wire out and all of this. It was all kind of just going a bit chaotic. And I went out to get a drink of water, and I just said to Claire, I need to go lie down. I feel really fresh. She's like, all right, it's okay. I'm like, I don't know how loud I was talking at her, but I was talking loud, I think. And I just went upstairs, and I was laying in bed, and I could not. There was someone outside calling for their kid, and then someone else was playing music, and it was just like noise. And I just was laying there like, I can't cope with this. This is a mess. And I said to Claire, I think what normally would have happened if I wasn't more aware is that I probably just shouted at Ollie and told him off. She'd have come in going, what the hell? I'd have shouted at her. We'd have had a big old row. I'd have probably left the room in a huff, and I would have just been like, ugh, and then that would have been it. But because I'm more aware, I thought, I'm going to go lie down. I feel a mess. And I just lay in the room on my own, just with the blinds shut, just in the dark, just thinking this needs to pass. I feel so overwhelmed. It's ridiculous. I think I've been in a bit of a low mood because of that, because the same sort of thing happened on Sunday for slightly different reasons. I was just stressed up because Ollie, bless him, had his friend round for the first time, which is absolutely wonderful and brilliant. And he was so excited. We told him on Friday night that his friend was coming. We said, look, don't get too carried away. It's going to be exciting, but you need to keep it kind of together, because if it goes really badly, then that's going to be something we need to navigate. But if it goes really well, we can do it more often. So I obviously spent the whole time just anxiously worrying about what he was going to do. He spent the whole time getting absolutely excited and carried away. He'd like set up. We gave him our old camera, and he was like, "I'm going to take a picture of us when we get here to remember the day," which is adorable. And he was like, "We're going to do this. We're going to do that." He's bringing his phone with him, so we're going to play Roblox together. He was like, "I'm going to put this on the TV. We're going to watch YouTube together." He was all prepared, and he was running. He kept asking us, how many hours till tomorrow? Like, when is it night time on Saturday? That was something else that he kept doing. So I think that was what was getting me. He kept going, when is it night time? I'd say 8 hours. He'd get upset. So I was just trying to tell him, look, 7 hours, it's fine. You watch this stuff, go to bed, blah, blah, blah. On the morning, he was saying, what time was my friend coming? And I told him 2 hours, but I'd made a mistake. I thought he was coming at 11. He was coming at half 11. So Ollie got upset when I was telling him that it was like an hour and 45 minutes. And he was like, I asked you 45 minutes ago how long it was. And I was like, yeah, I miscalculated. But when his friend arrived, they just went upstairs. They were fine. They had an absolutely brilliant time. So that was like a bit of a release then. I felt like the anxiety was going away. And all I kept thinking was, at home time, is he going to be okay? Is he going to be able to do it? Is he going to freak out and have a bit of a fight, an argument, get upset? Is he going to, make a scene in front of the kid's mum and all of this? But when it came to it, I went up and told them both. They both just absolutely ignored me. And I was just like, your mum's here. You need to go now. And then they sort of got ready. There was a bit of madness because Ben got really excited and started jumping around and jumping on people. So then they started jumping around a bit. But ultimately, they just hugged and left. But after that, I felt like I had all this energy built up from being anxious about it. And I was just kind of like there thinking, I haven't got anywhere to put this now. Do you know what I mean? It was just like felt very, very, very het up. I'm glad I didn't have work yesterday because I was very het up, and I was knackered. We ended up having a bit of a lie-in, and but It was good. Ollie had a great time. I said to him we could do it again. His friend was like, "Can I come over in like a month's time?" And I was like thinking a month's actually quite a long time, to be fair. I mean, yeah, of course you can. We'll arrange it. I sort of said, "Yeah, we'll talk to your mum. You can come around whenever, really." Yeah, they're just excited. That was very good news. So on top of that, I feel like just anxiety. I get in my own head, and I've tried to explain to Claire that that's the reason why I don't get to sleep very early. I lay awake at night getting anxious about hypothetical scenarios. She wants to go away for the weekend. She was going to go away the weekend that I was at Comic Con, and I said, "Well, I can come away with you that week if I book it off." So bless her, she spent ages trying to figure out what to do, and then we realised that we can't send our dog to our parents because she's not well, and we were like, "Okay, that's probably not fair." So we went back to the original plan. She's going to go away with the kids the weekend that I'm away. But I was like, "Can you take your mum with you?" And she was like, "Why? I don't need to bring my mum to spend the weekend away with the kids. It'll be fine." And I was like, "I'm just going to spend the whole weekend panicking that like there's three of them and one of you, and you're going to have to try and balance them all." And she wants to stay near. She kept saying, "I want to stay near the seaside. I want to be like walking distance from the beach." And I kept just thinking, well, Ben's just going to wander into the sea. So I'm there just anxiously convincing myself that she's going to wake up one morning and Ben's just gone and freaking out and all of this. So she's taking her mum with her. Bless her. Her mum's going on holiday with her now, and she was like, "I'll ring you and I'll make sure." And and I said, "Well, don't just ring me out of the blue. Like I'd rather it. Like I said, if everything's fine, just tell me everything's fine via a text and then ring for a chat. Don't like ring me out of the blue at 4 o'clock on a Saturday and I'm just freaking out." And yeah, I was trying to explain to her like I don't like the phone ringing. I mean, when it's school ringing, I'm always like, "That's school. I know what's gone wrong." But if it just goes off, unless it's like if my dad rang me now, I'd freak out. That's just the way it is. Don't ring me, basically. If I get a text, it's fine. It's like my sister has a habit of sending a question. Like, instead of just telling me what she wants to know, she'll say to me, like, I don't know. She would almost go, "Are you sitting down?" and then tell me something rather than just telling me. I'd rather just be told it. I could read it. I don't like not that that's a bad example because she's never done that. But I'd rather just have the message and then be able to read it and go through it. But when I get a phone call, I'm like, "Oh, what is it?" I mean, I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't want like something bad has happened in a text. I'd just be like, I don't know, ring me something bad's happened is probably the best way of putting it. Ring me would freak me out without the context. I'd assume something bad's happened. Do you know what I mean? I'd rather have ring me something bad's happened. Anyway, that's a slight waffle. So the last thing that's kind of been getting me, the biggest thing that's been getting me, and I really wish I had a solution for this. I've tried to make a solution for this, but there just doesn't seem to be one because I don't really know how to explain it properly to work, but work, bless them, are trying that, I understand completely, right? They've got a team of people. They want all the team to meet up and do things. They put on this really cool event at a theme park where everyone's going for an open day tomorrow to go and discuss the future of the business and meet each other and network and so on and so forth. And I'm not going because the idea of that is just petrifying and crippling, and I don't want to do it. So I've said I'm not coming, and they're a bit like, "Okay, that sucks." But today they're in the office. They're all at the office meeting, and they said to me, "Why don't you come in?" And I was like, "I've literally just told you I don't want to meet a massive crowd of people. Like it's, the worst idea ever." I said I'll come when there's not a circus, but I'm not coming when there's like, a good sort of 20 new people there. So they were like, "Well, it'd be really good if you could come." And I said, "Well, I'm not going to." And then this was Friday, and they were like, "Well, it'd be really nice to see you if you can make it. I think you should try." And so I'm obviously here recording at home in my lunch break. So I didn't go in. They mentioned this morning, "Oh, who's in today? Who's not in today? So we can arrange to meet you." And there was like two of us not in. And I just feel really bad because it's not that I don't want to see them. It's not that I don't want to be in the office. It's just that I don't want to be around that many people. Like things that freak me out about it, big crowd of people, not knowing where I'm, not having somewhere comfortable that I regularly sit in. Not that that's the end of the world. They could make that, but it's a cart before the horse type of thing. The dress code is the big thing because people say to me, "Smart casual," and I'm not, "Well, I don't know what that means. Tell me specifically." I don't want to have to wear a shirt and trousers anywhere if I can help it, and shoes. Like I literally hate that. It's the most uncomfortable thing ever. But someone said to me before, "Just come in like normal clothes." So I came in jeans and a t-shirt, and literally everyone there was in trousers and a shirt, but not like a business shirt, like a I go to fancy bars and I wear a trousers and shirt kind of clothes. And I was just kind of like, you can't tell me to wear what I normally wear and then all turn up in £300 shirts and £200 trousers. Is that what you normally wear? You'll get got too much money to burn. So I just feel a bit odd. And it's also like the last time they were like, oh, there's only 5 people in coming and see him, and I thought, oh, that's fine. And when I got there was a good like 15 people that I met for the first time. Maybe not that many, but it felt like I was meeting a lot of people for the first time, and I know it, going back to the avoiding the triggers and leaving the room when I was getting upset with Ollie and just having a lie down rather than shouting at him, which I feel like I would have had an argument with him normally. Not normally, but like often we've had arguments, and that would have been it. I would have told him off. I'd have got in a back and forth. He'd have hidden. I'd have hidden. It would have been a bit silly. So rather than I'd have come home from the office and been in a mood or upset or tired. It would have messed up and had a cascading effect on other things. Times I've come home and had a disagreement with Claire have probably been the fact that I've had a bad day. I'd have probably been upset. I've had days driving home in years gone past where I've just been in an absolute state, and just really upset or whatever. And I'm trying really hard to just process it on the journey home, and I just don't want all that. It does take a drag. And yeah, I just thought to myself, the last time I went in, I didn't get any work done. I just came home knackered and it was terrible. So I'd rather avoid it. But they're obviously, I completely understand why. They're thinking, well, I want my team to be cohesive. I want everyone to know each other. And I want it to work. I do feel it's a bit of a complicated one because I really want to say, and I don't know how to word it, but I kind of want to say, well, look, we've just had a really good year. I've had a really good year, work-wise, results-wise. This is the best year I've had, and we should just acknowledge that and work it. You know what I mean? That should be the case. I've done that at home, so it's obviously working. I saw a great tweet where someone had said that a lot of autistic people have discovered what life is like when they don't have to mask, and now trying to go back to the masking every day all the time is proving impossible for them. And I read it this morning and I actually thought, my God, like what a time to read that kind of message. That might be exactly what this is. I've been myself for 2 years, and now the thought of doing anything is just like anything that normally sets me off has just left me kind of just at an impasse. And I'm waiting for the call. I usually have a Wednesday call with my boss to talk about things, and next time I don't think we'll have it because I think he'll be at this theme park tomorrow, but there's going to be a time when it's going to come up and he's going to want to talk about this, and I don't know what to say other than the fact I'm going to be saying, well, look, I'm starting therapy tomorrow, maybe that'll help. I don't know what the solution is really. Like, I just want to be left to do my job at home and get on with it and plan it and stuff. I don't see the need to be anywhere, but I understand why they want me to be there. It's just so yeah, I'm kind of burning myself out a little bit at the moment, going around in circles with this because I don't really know what the solution is. I feel guilty because I'm not really meeting their needs, but I'm meeting my own, and I don't know. I feel guilty because I'm obviously freaking out about silly things that affect how Claire behaves, like going on holiday and stuff like that. I'm also a bit of an oxymoron because, I mean, even my boss said to me, well, how comes you can go to Comic-Con and do all this stuff, but you can't walk into an office? And I was like, it's just different. I can wear what I want at Comic-Con. I can leave if I want to. Like, I was getting overwhelmed last time, and I went around on my own for a bit. I said to Kev, Anna, and Pab, I need to go shopping. I was actually just feeling a bit overwhelmed. I didn't tell them that. I just went for a walk. I think they knew. I had a chat with them afterwards. They were like, nah, we knew. We understood. I just went shopping on my own for a bit. I'm on the stage. I said before, the lights are bright on stage. You can't see anything. I was a bit nervous about meeting the new people, meeting Rach and Bex on stage. I kind of didn't know what. I was like, I don't know who these people are. I'm going to freak out. And then they were just lovely. We chatted like for a minute on the way in. We got on stage. We were just talking. I knew they were on a similar wavelength to us, by the way they were talking on stage. So it felt like I could relax a bit, cracked a bit of a joke and that kind of thing. And it was fine. I was excited. I went, I felt like I was definitely anxious. I think I remember reading Sensory when I got home on the Sunday and just being completely buzzy, and I think I was getting on sort of Claire's nerves because I was just absolutely buzzing, talking at a million miles an hour. And I just felt like that all come out, and I think that's part of it as well, is I can do that as a one-off. I come home from that and I was absolutely a buzzy mess, but I went to sleep, I got up the next day, it was fine, blah, 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 Whereas if I'm doing that every day in the office or several times a week in the office or whatever it is, it's going to be a problem. And I thought to myself, if I go in today, I'm going to be a mess tomorrow, and I've got a lot of work to do. I've got a lot of work to do at the moment at work. So being a mess tomorrow isn't useful if I'm going to get no work done today and no work done tomorrow. Whereas that's what it was kind of like. I come home from Comic Con and I felt baked. I feel like I think a lot of you will know the kind of feeling. I remember the biggest I've ever felt with that was I went to Reading Festival when I was younger, and I came home and I just felt like my circuits were just fried. I just felt like I was burning from the inside out in a really, it was a positive way, but I just felt like I was completely drained. And I remember laying on my bed. Must have been about 17. And I remember just laying on my bed thinking, I am completely and utterly like out of juice. It was just like I cannot function now. I can't believe I got home, and that's how it is. But I don't know. Comic Con's a different. I'm excited about Comic Con because I'm looking forward to seeing everyone that I see and that kind of thing. But it's a kind of a calculated. It's that whole spoons analogy, isn't it? I'll spend the spoons that I have on it, and that is one thing that I'm going to do for a weekend, and it's fun, and I'll see my friends. And if I didn't do that, I wouldn't have a social life. I wouldn't have my friends and that kind of thing. And other friends ask me if I want to do something on the 30th of June or something like that, 30th of July, and I'm like, I do on paper, but I don't know whether I'm going to be in a frame of mind to do it on that point. And I'm kind of hoping, part of me is like, I'm hoping I get to the point of Comic Con, and I've got an obligation, so I will be there. But it's one of those things where, like, I don't know, I'm just freaking out a little bit. I'm hoping this therapy works enough to make a difference. Anyway, I'm going over my time here, and I'm sorry about this, and I hope that I've not rabbited so much that you're all kind of like, oh, God, boring, skip it. I feel awkward doing negative videos, but I also want to keep it real because I feel like I'm not the only one. There's going to be other people who know this feeling. I've said before I'm nervous about CBT working because some other people have said that. Well, I've read that it doesn't really have an effect on autistic people as well as it does on other people. But then I've also spoken to autistic people who've said it was really helpful. So fingers crossed it does. I spoke to the people and they said they have no experience or input or autistic view on this. So like, there's no slant. It's just bog standard. So I'm kind of a little bit. Like maybe the autistic people I know had ones that were more specialist to them, and this isn't. So I'm kind of unsure about that, but I'll see what happens. I'll talk about it when I talk about it, and I'm just knackered. I'm not sleeping very well at the moment, and I think it's just having a knock-on effect. I'm feeling just worried about everything. I'm nervous about these videos. I'm nervous about my streaming. I feel a bit weird about my writing. The game's going out today. I'll put a tweet out when that's out properly. The Game Jam game's done. And I want to do all these things. I feel like I just want to be doing more things, but I need to sort myself out. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, thank you for your time. Sorry for the downbeat rant. I hope it's been funny at times, because I'm still happy. It's weird being happy and anxious at the same time. Anxious. It's weird. I don't really get it. I don't like it. I want to just go back to being normal, but I seem to be just a weird ball of mess at the moment. And yeah, I'm going to wrap up there. So thanks for watching. Hope you're all. Let me know how your week's going. Let me know how your bank holiday went. Let me know your thoughts on replacing cards with cheesecakes. I feel like that was a masterstroke from Mrs. Sheepdog, and the world should take heed. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Cheers.